what I will tell you is, you'll never hit it if you don't try. You won't even come close. The beautiful thing about saying yes to the things that you truly want is you will land somewhere close. Closer than you would have ever landed had you never said yes, never acknowledged it. The fact that you have a choice to be able just to go and aim that direction, you've already gone farther than had you never aimed at it. This is Nicky Rankar with the Trial and Error podcast. And as always, I've got stuff on my mind that I've been thinking about. One being, why is it that we always say yes to the things that we don't really want to do, and we say no to the things that we do want to do? And then we actually use the things we said yes to as excuses. Now, what I mean by that is, just an example, let's say you decide to start working out, and you're working out every single morning at 5:30 a.m. and it's Sunday night or Sunday, and and you're like, all right, I'm doing this workout thing for me, I'm excited, and somebody calls you up and says, hey, we're going out tonight to watch the football game, or we're going to have a couple drinks, we're going to hang out with some friends and you should come. And you think, man, I don't really want to go because I know that I'll be out too late and I won't end up being able to go to the gym, or I won't go to the gym because maybe I'll have had a couple of drinks and I won't feel great. But then you feel bad because what are you going to look like to those people? And you say yes to going out or hanging out or having some drinks or watching the game, and you get home and you're too tired and you don't want to wake up, and then you start. The next day at lunch, you're like, man, I was out too late last night, blah, 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 so I wasn't able to get my workout in. Why don't we take responsibility and say that you made that choice? We say yes all the time to things that we don't care about, and we say no to the things that we do, and we act like the no's are just like they're just so hard to say yes to. When there's a balance, you might hear that you have to say yes more often, or learn how to say no, or learn how to say yes. I don't think that the question is learning how to say one or the other. It's knowing when to say yes and when to say no. Does it align with what you're trying to do? Does the yes make you better or worse? Or is it going to stifle or hurt your chances of becoming better? Or is it going to make it easier to become worse? So saying yes to something that other people want you to do, which you know you'll have fun and you'll enjoy, is not a bad thing. And saying no to something that you think would make you better and blah, 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 for something that you may have more fun doing, that's not wrong. There is no right or wrong. Most of us are skewed we're imbalanced. We have no balance that helps us to stay on track towards what our goals are, because we're saying yes to too many things that we ultimately use as an excuse, and we're not helping ourselves reach the things that we actually want. If you work an 8-hour job and you want to start a side business, or you want to do something you really, really enjoy, but maybe it doesn't make you any money, or maybe it doesn't do something that's fun, or I shouldn't say that. Maybe it doesn't look to everybody else like it's something fun, but to you, it's amazing. You love it. But you get home from your 8 hours at work, and you sit down and you complain that you hate the job you work at and you wish you could do the thing that you're thinking about doing. It's not that you're too tired and you have too many excuses. You're not inspired enough to get to work. You care too much about what people are going to think. If you are working towards exactly what you want and you are happy, you don't care. You might hear it and it's not gonna stop you. If you are inspired and you truly want to become better, say yes to it. Like, if you want to do it, say yes to it. It may end up making you have to say no to some things, but if you can explain why and you really want to, then go ahead. But you don't have to. Like, this is a beautiful thing that you can start doing the things you want at any point in your life. It just might be harder. And newsflash, it's hard. Like, there is no easy way to get exactly what you want. And a lot of times you don't get exactly what you want. What I will say though is you get a version of it. If you want to be a football player, you can play football every single day. You may never go to the NFL, but you're still a football player, right? You still get to do it every day. It's not bringing in all your money. It's not doing all the things that are going to make you rich. It's not going to stop you from having to work your other job, but it's going to allow you to be able to feel the feeling that you enjoy when you're playing. Just like anything else. Sometimes it's not going to be the thing, but it may be your thing. You may knit and make tons of different things and get no money for it and give them away, but that brings you joy. Like, the thing that I find amazing is that we find excuses or reasons why we can't do stuff, a lot of times around money, where we also say that money isn't a thing that we care about, but yet we don't do a lot of things because of money. We don't do a lot of things because it doesn't make money. We don't work on ourselves, the one self we have, the one body, the one mind, because of what we think other people will think. So instead we say yes to them. We say yes to people and we don't do the things we want. I mean, this is hard to talk through because there are so many excuses as you're listening to this that you can give yourself. The hard part is that when you think about it, the reason you're giving yourself excuses is because you don't think you can hit the exact goal you're shooting for. What I will tell you is, you'll never hit it if you don't try. You won't even come close. The beautiful thing about saying yes to the things that you truly want is you will land somewhere close. Closer than you would have ever landed had you never said yes, never acknowledged it. The fact that you have a choice to be able just to go and aim that direction, you've already gone farther than had you never aimed at it. Like, just fire, just take the shot, do it all the time, have fun with it. You will learn so much, and I guarantee you, just like me, you know very little when you start. You know very little. And as you learn, things become clearer, and a lot of times that ultimate goal you had down the at the end of the road, that thing where you're like, that's what I want, you're going to be realizing, it was a different version that you wanted. Or maybe there was an aspect of it that you wanted. And what's really, really cool is that, I'm 36, and for me, I know that in 5 years, I'm going to have some crazy visions and dreams, and I'm going to go after them. I don't know what they are right now because I'm chasing so many things that I'm just passionate about and I'm inspired by, that I want people to be inspired to be able to chase those things for themselves. You have so much potential. And putting into perspective that things could be worse, being grateful for what you have, and knowing that just because you chase something doesn't mean you're going to get it, but it does mean you're going to be happy. Happier than what you would have been had you not. Not having to blame anybody else for anything going on because you didn't get to say yes to it. Just say yes. And then take responsibility. Enjoy it. I suck at a lot of stuff, and I blame myself for making a lot of bad decisions. I get to also be thankful that I did some of the things that I did in order to be able to done and traveled and competed and learned so many things that I know I'm going to get to experience still. It's crazy because I thought when I graduated high school or college that learning was over. I was like, man, learning's done. What I've learned since then is I actually now understand why I'm learning. I understand there's so much more, that life isn't just life. Life is, it's almost like I get to create life, help create life. by saying yes to learning, by saying yes to chasing after different things, it's almost like I get to see what life can be through my eyes by creating happiness. By realizing that my life can be different than any life that's ever been. But it might be the same too. And that's okay. I'm just excited to be able to chase the things that I love. And I want you to be able to chase the things that you love. So I kind of got off on a rant there. Appreciate you guys listening. I don't really know if you're going to get anything from that. Hopefully you have a great one. And this was Nick Urankar on the Trial and Error podcast. Go say yes to something you want.